Oh, we're already live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tips for Teens. I am here with the awesome Tyquain, excuse me, Lieutenant Tyquain McClellan. He got rank on his name, so y'all got to put some respect on his name, right? You earned that. So I'm
Thank you,
gonna go
appreciate
ahead
it.
and share it on my page.
Hmm.
Hoping you had a great day.
I had a great day. I teleworked today, so it wasn't bad.
Oh, you had a real good day.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? Sometimes when you telework, it's so much more that you find yourself doing. You have to be so disciplined with the distractions and all of that. And
Especially
so
my two dogs. Oh my goodness. I think about, I was thinking about this today. When I'm at work, they go all day without having to use the bathroom. As soon as I'm teleworking, they want to go every hour. It's like, what?
I think you have them spoiled.
Oh yeah, very
Y'all,
much
he
so.
put them up. They were out here. They were trying to show their faces, but he put them up. I don't know why he was doing that. He was so excited about him being out there. He was just doing
They was gonna act up, so I had to put them up.
So it's Prince and who? What's their name again?
King in London.
Oh my God. I keep calling him Prince. I am so sorry. I just
You're
demoted
fine.
him. But King in London, I'm so sorry. I got it straight now. No worries. No worries. But I'm glad to have you on here tonight with us as our special guest for Tips for Teens. I love to keep our young people educated, and you have a lot that you can give to them on tonight. I know you were excited. I was excited as well about having you on here. So let's start with telling them about your background. What are you doing these days?
All right, so I recently just moved to Virginia, Alexandria. I'm working as a unit administrative technician, which is HR for the military, a military unit.
Hmm.
So what that entails, is like updating personnel records and everything like that. Just making sure we're taking care of soldiers, essentially. We're doing awards and evaluations. It's military stuff, but a
Right.
lot of people might not know that. But that's basically what I'm doing for HR in the military.
Okay. Did you know that you wanted to go into the military when you were in high school?
Oh no.
No. So what was the big plan when you were in high school?
I don't even remember what I want to be going into it, but I knew that the military was not the way that I saw for myself. Essentially,
Hmm.
um, it kind of happened on my second semester. My sophomore year, my second semester at Clemson University.
Hmm.
Two of my friends were a part of the RTC program. They were also a part of my resident assistant staff. And they
Hmm.
was like, Taquan, this would be a good thing for you to do. And I was like, oh, okay, let me go try it out. I tried it out. I got the
Who
scholarship,
just
and
tries out the military? Who just does that?
it was offered to me, and I just it was like, yeah, if they told me the benefits of of doing it, and
Hmm.
what it had to offer along the way. And I was like, okay, let me try it, because at that time I was like, all right, I need somebody to pay for school. And I was like,
Yeah.
perfect. RTC, they pay for school, they pay for tuition and fees, and then you still
Hmm.
get paid monthly. And I was like, okay, let me try it. Let me see if I can do it and see if I like it.
Hmm.
I got that
Good.
scholarship by the end of the semester, and it's been all she wrote from there.
I have a young lady who's interested in the ROTC program. Can you share about how you can get into the ROTC program? What are the requirements?
Yeah, so I had went so at Clemson University. They had the option. They have Air Force and they have Army
Hmm.
RTC program. So I went to the Army RTC program and met with and met with one of them. I forgot who I
Hmm.
met with, to be honest, but I met with one of them, and I was just talking about my plans and what I want to accomplish, and what it required, the eligibility, and so I mean, honestly, they was like, yeah, let's just get you enrolled in the classes, and see if you like it. And then by the end, you pass the APFT because you look good on everything else.
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to get the scholarship. So the scholarship, you do have to have a certain GPA. I believe. I'm not even sure. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember, but
Y'all, he acts like
yeah.
he's so old.
It was a long time ago. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there are requirements that you have to meet to actually gain the scholarship. But to get into the
Right.
program, I think anybody can, like, as long as you can pass the APFT and stuff like that, you'll be fine.
Can
I
you tell
mean,
them what that means?
oh, my bad. My bad.
I mean, I know the lingo a little bit,
I
but
keep forgetting that
kind of folks,
I'm on live. I gotta be able to talk this stuff out. But essentially, like, that's the Army fitness test and whatnot. But also, we're going to a new one, so just I'm not even gonna throw out the other name. But yeah, so it's a fitness test.
The fitness test. How far in advance you think people
hmm
should train if they are wanting to pass the fitness test?
Um,
I mean, they can't wake up in next week and start running around the
no,
track.
I would say, especially if you are, like, because it's push-ups, so the push-up, sit-ups, and the 2 mile run. So
Hmm.
if you're terrible, especially if you're terrible at running, you need to be starting, like, really, really early. The one thing I like about the APFT is the running, because I don't have
You
to
like
train for that.
running? Oh no.
I don't have to train. I just like running, so it's just something that comes natural. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Listen,
I
I
don't
can
know.
do
I don't know.
push-ups all day. Push-ups, sit-ups, whatever. Running,
I do not like this. I don't like the push-ups part. The sit-ups is, but the running, I know I'm gonna take off and be done. The push-ups,
well,
I'm like,
that's
Lord,
excellent.
how many more I got?
That is funny. So that's the process as far as getting in. You got to know, how to study for that,
Mhm.
the test to be able to get into that part, be able to get the scholarships. There's some written tests that you have to do. You have to be fit physically, all those things. How long have you been in the military?
Um, since I actually, like, I commissioned in 2016, May
Hmm.
2016, from Clemson University. So 2016, so
Yes,
4 years.
2016.
hmm
Please tell the people what your rank is.
Oh my goodness. I am a first lieutenant,
First
AD
lieutenant.
officer.
First lieutenant.
Yeah, first
So he
lieutenant.
has he has rank. He has rank, and that's amazing. What you're going in, and you're still pushing forward. You're hoping to be able to, or you will get to the next rank,
Right, right,
hopefully
right,
soon,
right,
right? When
right.
they
Cap
coming up
mode. I'm ready
soon.
for
So
that.
that's something that young people can look forward to, and with that path that you have chosen, I think that if I could do it all over again, I probably would do a path similar to that, being able to commission through a program like ROTC. I think I was going the long way around, but hey, I'm enjoying the process that I am in. That
That's
could have
it.
been a
Hey,
different
you in
way,
there.
but
Right.
hey, I appreciate this process. Well, you have some tips that you want to share with the young people today. What do you have for them?
All right, y'all. I wrote some stuff down because I didn't want to be
See, he's
forgetful.
prepared. The lieutenant is always prepared.
I did not want to be forgetful,
He's
y'all.
not half stepping. Might I add, what fraternity are you representing?
And
And then might I add, which college did he say Clemson? So he's representing the y'all tonight.
Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Or your friend's gonna get you when you get off this call. You saw how weak you said that incorporated. They gonna get you. But
All
what
right.
tips you have for the people today?
All right. So number one, something that I really so I also so when you gave me this, it was like, hey, I'm reaching out to you to do this. I was like, all
Hmm.
right, let me try to engage my some friends and families to see what they think, to give me the feedback for some tips. So I got some
Hmm.
feedback from them that I'm using to give to y'all. So here
Hmm.
goes nothing. So the first tip, I would say, don't rush to grow up. This is a time as a teenager you need to be embracing, like, learning about yourself, really truly learning how to love yourself, learning how to balance, school and your wants and needs that you want to accomplish as a teenager.
Hmm.
Always to keep an open mind. Listen, you can. There's a lot of stuff going around the world. Just keep an open mind.
Right.
Also, don't give in into peer pressure. I know that may be hard. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, in high school, that's really hard because you want to do what your friends doing. You don't want to be like, oh, I'm not cool, but that cool factor wears off once you graduate high school, and most of that stuff
Right.
does not matter once you graduate.
Right. That is so
that
true.
stuff don't matter.
You don't even see half the people you went to school with anymore anyway after high school. So
Exactly. Everything just like, and then once you graduate, y'all, like there's bills. Like you become an adult. Like
that
once
part.
you graduate, like you become an adult and like you breathe and you owe $100. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all stay a child for real.
Right.
I would say tip number two, seeking mentorship.
Yeah.
I think that's really important as you're, going through this time
Hmm.
of, trying to figure out life, trying to figure out yourself. Find somebody that you truly trust, that you aspire to be like, whether that's male or female, they have leadership skills or they have skills that you want, or they're in a career that you might be looking forward into going into.
Right.
Ask them to help you, like to ask them, hey, do you mind being my mentor if you really truly are going to put in the effort to be a mentee, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just can't be trying to, going to try to find a mentor and then don't, engage, don't interact, don't ask questions. Uh-oh, my dog acting up. Yeah, but
I'm glad
yeah,
you elaborated more on the mentorship piece because some people
mm-hmm,
might look at a mentor as someone who they look up to, but might not be doing the things that they should be doing. So
right.
I'm glad that you talked about it should be someone that they aspire to be like,
Mm-hmm.
bringing
Yeah,
some positive into the situations.
yeah, mentorship was very important during my time in college too.
Hmm.
When I, as a freshman, I was in the Connections Mentoring Program, which is for first year minority students. And
Hmm.
shout out to my mentor, Amber Cooper. Like I'll never forget her. I'll never like not shout her out for being my mentor. She was great. She
Right.
honestly helped me find myself in college. Gave me some great tools to be successful as well. So
Hmm.
once you find a mentor, you keep in contact, ask them questions, they've been there, done that, they have experience, they have knowledge, they have everything that you might be looking for. So
Yeah.
find somebody that you really, really want to try to be there. Can you hear my dogs? Because they're going
Yes.
wild. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
How the dog's gonna interrupt the interview? I bet you it was King.
No, it's the little ones. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a moment.
London gonna interrupt the whole interview. London, you are going in timeout.
Honestly, truly. Okay. The third one I was going to say was asking for help. Y'all, don't be afraid to ask for help, ask questions. Especially like I said, as a teenager, you're trying to figure out everything right now. You're looking at
Right.
life in a different, way. Your perspective, like everything's like, you're starting to think and like really be independent. Ask those questions.
Right.
We're here on this. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody don't know everything, so it's okay to ask questions, especially if you need help. I mean, you can talk to a friend, your mentor, your parents, a family member,
Hmm.
anybody that you truly feel like you're comfortable with talking to.
Yeah.
Um, Also with asking for help, if you're going through something, mental health is really important.
Hmm.
Especially while you're in high school or just middle school, like you're trying to fit in. Peer pressure is real.
Yeah.
If you ever feel like you're suicidal or going through everything, I think you should really just reach out to somebody, to just talk things through. Mental health is
Right.
really important, y'all.
And you know what? The peer pressure now is so different than when even when you and I were in school.
Right.
It's so
Hmm.
much different. It's on a different level at this time. So I hope that they are taking that in, and those things that you said so far can definitely help with combating it.
Yeah, especially like if you need somebody to talk to, you can look into talking to people, find a therapist or finding ways to cope with maybe things that you're going with, whether that's journaling, whether that's writing, or
Hmm.
whatever you feel is necessary to make you feel better. Find those things that bring you peace.
Right.
Um, relying on others is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of
Right.
strength. That's a sign of strength that you're able to ask for help to get the help that you
Mm-hmm. That's
need.
true.
um, Fourth, I would say become a lifelong learner. Ah, I
Good
mean,
point.
honestly, you can learn from anybody, y'all. Older, younger, you should never stop being a learner in life. Like life is
Right.
going to always teach you something about yourself, teach you something about others, and it's going to challenge you every time. There's
Right.
nothing about life that you're not going to be able to learn. Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Make mistakes, like not bad mistakes, y'all, but make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like don't put yourself in harm's way, but make mistakes, y'all. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Making mistakes is okay. If you don't
Right.
try, then you won't never know.
That's true.
You never know. Um, Lastly, I would say think about your future. Set the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't plan out your whole life because if you do, I try to. I think I try to plan out my life in high school. Like I'm gonna go to college for this. I'm gonna graduate with this. I'm gonna go to school for this. And life
Mm-hmm.
will hit you across the head and say, no, you're not. You're not doing that. I got some stuff I want you to go through to help you. You know what I'm saying? To figure
Yeah.
things out. But not saying that you shouldn't make plans, but yeah, make plans with
Right.
some goals. Make goals that are attainable,
That's true.
um, whatever that may be. And also, whenever you make those goals, it's okay if you don't get it right the first time. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, make mistakes, find what works for you, and when it works for you, go with that.
Right.
Um, oh yeah, careers. So regardless of what you want to go into, whether it's the military, there's different branches in the military. So do your research and
Mm-hmm.
what you need to, be eligible to do that. Whether you're going to college or, a technical school, or if you're trying to get a trade job,
Mm-hmm.
and what was the last thing I was thinking about? Hmm, Entrepreneurship. There's
Right.
a lot of entrepreneurship going on now than it was whenever I was growing up. Most people were like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you need to go to school, become a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, or that was always the top thing.
It's definitely
No,
switching up now.
nobody was talking about you need to work. You can work for yourself. Like that was something
Right.
that I never really truly heard of. Not
That's
really
right.
truly heard of, but like I wasn't thinking about like, oh, I can actually do this and work for
Mm-hmm.
myself. Like a lot nowadays, people are doing they're content creators on like on social media. They're making money on YouTube, and
Mm-hmm.
they're making music, and that's good. I mean, there's different ways, different avenues to find your path, find your career,
That's right.
and that's okay. But if you're going to do all these things, you need to prepare. You need to research and figure out the way that you want to go.
Mm-hmm. What grade you would you recommend that students begin to start looking into things like this?
I want to say, it's, I honestly in ninth grade I was already saying like, hey, I want to go to college. So that
Mm-hmm.
means I need to make good grades. That means
That's
like,
true.
and there was another thing like going to guidance counselors and having those what's called IEP meetings or something like that. Where you talk about your individual. I forgot what it's called. I forgot the official
Uh-huh.
name, but basically you meet with them. You basically plan out how you want your high school career to go. At least when I was
Right.
at high school, Lakeview High School.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, as early as ninth grade, at least start making plans, at least wanting to, do research. But I would say, especially 10th grade is like a
Yeah.
critical year because you want to really use that time to really look into like schools you want to go to. Because 11th grade, you're looking at taking the SAT, the ACT, and even in 10th grade, you can take it, ACT and SAT just to get like
Right.
and then like you do the PSAT. Is that in 10th grade? I don't even know. But anywho,
Yeah.
if you try all this, like really, if you're really interested in that, like it's not too late to start. Even if you're not in, you're in ninth grade or going to 10th grade, 11th grade, it's never too late to start. I mean, you just
Right.
have to play catch up. So
Mm-hmm.
prepare, look at the schools that you're interested in, find the requirements, GPA, if they require a essay or, if you have to do other stuff, you have to have other forms and stuff like that, and then you have to think about how you're gonna pay for it.
That's true.
So you need to be researching scholarships as well, and things to pay for school because You got to pay for that. They're not gonna let you
Can't,
just go walk.
I was about
They're
to
not.
say you can't go for free, but you can when you get the
You
scholarships
you
and the
can go for
grants.
free if you get the scholarships. You know what I'm
And
saying?
some most of them are easy. It's just like you said, just writing them a paper or applying
Mm-hmm.
for it.
Mm-hmm. That's it, y'all. And doing essays for them and just meeting the requirements is
Right.
half the battle. And and scholarships really did come into handy. Like grade point average comes into handy. Like you
Mm-hmm.
really have to really be prepared to want to be successful. And success is, in your own right. You don't have to. This is not like my success is going to be different from your success. So
Right.
your success is your success. Whether that's graduating college, getting your job, that's success for you. Or me
Mm-hmm.
owning buku businesses, that's my success. Like that's ours is never going to be the same. Don't ever start. That's another thing. Don't let people's success, ruin your success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't start putting yourself against other people thinking that you're not
Mm-hmm.
successful because you're not as successful as them. Mm-mm.
That's true.
That don't
Yeah.
work.
That is true though.
Oh, and another thing, because something that I really high school, they really don't prepare you for like financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
Really taking the time to like finding somebody that that is good at balancing like checkbooks and like
Mm-hmm.
credit score, how important that is, and investing, health insurance. Like people, what I'm saying, like we never really have. Well, I never had really people to talk to me about that, or like
Mm-hmm.
learning how to buy a car, learning how to buy a
That's right.
house, or that is so important to find people that you do know how to do those things, asking those questions early
Mm-hmm.
off, and
Let me
learning how to do
interject.
it.
Let me tell y'all, Beyond Empowerment does that in our core curriculum. Proceed.
Yes, yes. Come on with the little insert right there. That's awesome. I didn't know that, but that's really good because,
Yes.
especially in our community, like financial literacy is not, something they talk about. You have to grow up and make mistakes and learn off
Mm-hmm.
on your own, and it shouldn't be that way. I feel like if they ain't teaching it in school, then family members should be teaching us like, hey, this is how you balance a check. This is how you
Right.
write a check. Because a lot, I know nowadays, a lot of people don't know how to write checks. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
Writing
a lot of
checks and
people
just
don't use them. Maybe that's why it's not being taught as much.
right, and credit score. Credit cards and
Right.
woo. I had a credit card in college, and woo. It's paid off now, but Jesus.
I'm not going to interject on that one.
I wish I would have known more about it before I started swiping it like I was. You know what I'm saying?
Too funny. Yes. Any other final thoughts that you want to share with
um,
young people?
yeah, I would say. I mean, those are my tips. Those are my tips. But overall, enjoy being a teenager, y'all. Really,
Right.
find that time to really grow, to nurture yourself, to love yourself, to find things that you are passionate about, interested in, really researching and just trying to figure out um, what works for you and what don't work for you.
Yeah.
Learning how to, uh, I don't really know what, learning how, where I was going, I was trying to figure out where I was going with that. But yeah, just really taking the time to find yourself during those times. 'Cause I know it's hard. I mean, I was a
Yeah.
teenager, and at that time, I knew if anything was happening, I felt like the world was ending because you're hormonal. You know what I'm saying? Adolescence,
Right.
like you feel like the world is ending just because you're going through something, and life doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get past it, y'all. High
Yeah,
school is
you
gonna
will.
be.
You will survive.
Listen, high school is going. You're gonna be like, dang, I was wasting all that time on this, and I could have been doing that.
But just
Come on,
imagine if
y'all.
you had to go through what they're going through now with COVID, and especially if you were a senior. If you were a senior
Oh,
and you
it's
had planned all these years of being able to do these things once you
mm,
became a senior. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. We're still surviving. I'm grateful to be alive. And I hope that they
mm-hmm.
will look at it as that way as well. We're grateful to be here.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Oh,
we
I would
lost so
hate being a
many great
senior.
people
Woo.
this year, unfortunately, due to COVID. So they're still blessed. There's a blessing even in disguise with this situation. So
Hey,
they
don't
should
start preaching
appreciate
up in
that
here.
time.
Don't start preaching that.
I
Don't
don't have
start
that
preaching out
title.
here. Come on now, minister.
I won't do it. I won't do it today.
Mm-mm-mm.
Let me see. Anybody have any questions for Lieutenant McClellan?
Uh-oh.
Where's the questions?
Uh,
They
I wish
scared to
my
ask them.
oh man, I wish my MacBook was working. Come on, MacBook. Do right.
He's
Y'all
on
been
here
having
with this
problems.
broken laptop.
Listen, it ain't doing right now, y'all. They won't even let me log on.
So no questions. I'm grateful that you shared this information today for our teenagers. I mean, you have a lot to offer, whether it comes from your experience with the military. You had a deployment this
Oh
year, right?
yeah.
You were
Oh
gone for
man.
how long?
I was gone for 10 months. Yeah, I left
10
in
months.
yeah.
10 months
I
without your mom's
mm.
sweet potato pie, your mama's food.
And the gag is my mama don't even cook like that. I'm talking about Mary
Don't do
food.
your mom. Don't put your mom out there like that.
She gonna be mad when she see that. But shout out to Aunt Mary, because
He
as soon
didn't
as I
mean it,
got back
Lisa. He didn't
home,
mean
as
it.
soon as I got back home, Aunt
Y'all,
Mary
she
was like,
cooks.
"I got you."
Well, when you visit her, she's definitely not gonna cook because you put her
She
out
might
there.
listen. Listen. Whenever I come home, I'm always the one that's cooking. Okay, like I came off of deployment, and she was like, "I'm so glad you're back. Oh, I miss you cooking." I'm like, what?
Well, I am glad you survived. I mean, you went there, you did your thing, so you're one of
Mhm.
our American heroes. Thank you for serving. Thank you for serving.
No
And thank you for
problem.
all
No
that you
problem.
do. Everything that you have done in the community, just representing yourself in a positive way. I really appreciate that. And you are a mentor that young people can look up to. So I really appreciate you and your walk and what you're doing.
Oh,
So if
thank you
you
so
have
much.
if anyone wants to get in contact with you, what routes can they get in contact with you as far as social media links?
All right. So for Facebook, my name is Tyquan McClellan, and it's gonna be TyquainMcClellan. I'm gonna also share this, share this and comment on the in the comments, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think IG is Tyquan McClellan as well. Twitter is
Okay.
Forkboy TDM.
All
So
right.
yeah, I'm easy to find. Just reach out to me. I'm here to help.
Okay. Yeah, he is definitely here to help, guys. And I'm going to share this on our Instagram page as well as on our YouTube site. So just continue to follow us. We will continue to show awesome people who are doing great things, who can share awesome tips with our teenagers. And thank you again for tuning in with us. And thank you again for joining in on today's Taekwondo. Or
All right,
excuse
thank you
me,
so much.
Lieutenant McClellan. You guys have a great night.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye.